Hi, my name is Dieguez. I like to work as a multifaceted creative. This was for Strike, the magazine I currently work for.
He was given makeup by Victor.
That was too good. As a makeup artist, which is my favorite thing to do, faces are something that's very enticing to me. And I currently am a full-time student working as a painter. Back in high school, my freshman year, I was so insecure, terrified of everything. And then I started getting into makeup more and more. Like Venetian masks in the Roman era, they're symbols of power. I used my makeup as a form of power, a utility of strength, in a sense, to help build my character up. So my artistic mediums when it comes to fine arts in specific, which is what I go to college for, it's acrylic. I'm a very big acrylic painter. I specify in portraits. I'm a portraiture. That's what the term is called. And the inspiration behind this is the Twilight Zone episode called Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was a psychologist that studied the ideas of conformity and assimilation into societies, and how certain people of creative minds were the ones who would always break and demolish and abolish these utopic ideas. My favorite thing to work on is with faces. So that one painting about the Venetian mask, the main concept behind it was creative outlets that queer people use to kind of escape from the world. This was kind of my reinterpretation of it, because I've actually started to utilize my makeup in an escapist aspect, where I'm using it to travel, I'm using it to do new things, explore new identities, and I wanted to basically take a collection of all my favorite makeup looks I've done and put them on a canvas and paint them. It would look dope as fuck. And we're using a custom hat by moi, the one you saw in my bedroom earlier. It's like kind of a new thing that I started to develop, but I found so much fun in like making hats with like broken lace I found in the street, or just some jewelry that's broken and falling apart. And I found it kind of cathartic, using something broken to make something new. So a lot of my work is about my identity, about my culture as a Cuban man in Miami. And this one is kind of the interpretation of spirit, body, and mind. So you have spirit, body, and then mind. And it's kind of like the reason why this is empty. It's the reintroduction of myself. And then this is at the same time like kind of a homage to Miami. If you notice that there's this flamingo that you see all over Miami, as well as these eyes that you literally can see anywhere. Go to the interstate, go to I-95, like those shits are everywhere. But yeah. The theme was the different aspects or facets of queer life growing up. One of them was infidelity. I wanted to show like the subtle hints of this idea of infidelity with like the fingers crossed. There you go, that's the finger. With like the fingers crossed and like the wedding ring in it, that kind of thing. To kind of show it's like, yeah, like kind of betraying the person behind their back. And yeah, even made the paper. Look at me. It's a photo of me crying in the ocean, and it was about my first breakup. These flowers were the first ever bouquet I received, ever, and they were from him. And what I did is within the paint, there's actually crushed up remnants of the flowers. And then this is the love letter that the person wrote to me. It actually has the writing on it. It's about that balance in a sense of like, oh, it's my first love. I'm able to experience love, yet it still hurts. So the clown was about a story that I wrote my first year of high school. It was about how anxious I'd feel around people, and I wrote a metaphor that kind of stuck with me, where the anxiety that I would hold up in my mind felt like a circus in my brain, and the ringleader was the clown. So if you notice that a lot of my works are about me, I've had really bad relationships with people growing up, so it was hard to create art about others when it felt like everyone would leave. The topic of the assignment was childhood memories using 3D elements within your work. I kind of wanted to tie into the fact, one, the composition, based on the idea that my childhood is very, very blurred with the fact that like I had a lot of things that happened to me in my childhood, but I wanted to take like very just honest and sentimental aspects of my childhood, and my favorite thing was like growing up with like little rubber duckies in my bath. I think the aspect of my artwork that has changed the most is the maturity of it. Instead of before just being like, oh, the darkness, the bad things. It's not just that. It's about highlighting both the good and bad of everything.